Underground Bunker, this is your proprietor, Tony Ortega. I'm with Tom DeVocht, and we have breaking news this morning. Wow. Incredible, Tom. We've been talking about this proposal from Scientology to buy this street from the city of Clearwater. It's
Yep.
gone back and forth, and the latest was that this city council member, David Albertin, has changed his mind. That was leading into a showdown vote tonight when the city council was going to vote, and it was not looking good for Scientology. So what did Scientology do today? I saw it first from Fox News. I don't know if they were the first to report it, but the Fox affiliate in Clearwater reports that Scientology has withdrawn its application. Did you see that coming, Tom?
I did not see it coming, although it makes sense. But go ahead, and I'll pipe in a minute.
Okay, just to remind folks, there's the big flag building in downtown Clearwater, and for years and years, David Miscavige and Scientology has planned to put in L. Ron Hubbard Hall, an auditorium. They own the land that hall is going to go on, and they also wanted to have a park dedicated to L. Ron Hubbard. Between them, there is this, and they own the land of the park. Between them, there's this one little one block street called South Garden Avenue. Scientology owns all the property on either side of it. So they had put in an application to the city to vacate that street and sell it to Scientology for 1.3 million. There was a lot of opposition to it from the folks at Clearwater, who, to their credit, really made a lot of noise about this. There was an alternative proposal to sell it instead to another group for 1.5 million that wanted to turn it into a park honoring Clearwater's African American community. These city council members were going back and forth, and ultimately David Albritton said he wasn't going to vote for it because Miscavige had not come forward with plans. So now, just hours before this vote was supposed to go down, Scientology says, you know what? Let's not do this now. Now, I want to be careful on this, Tom, because this is the part that you can really inform us on.
Yep.
I looked at the letter that Scientology had submitted, and let's listen to this language about what it says it's doing, because it's not giving up. Don't interpret this as Scientology giving up. It just does not want to vote tonight. They are saying, based upon the discussions to date surrounding the application, the church has determined to supplement its application with additional information addressing its need for the Garden Avenue property, including life safety concerns. The church has also determined that issues surrounding the title to the property should be reviewed in depth. I think Tom's got a lot to tell us about that life safety angle, but I also want to point out that as of now, the council has taken that proposal, that vote, off of their agenda for tonight. So it's not like now that Scientology's backed out, they're going to go ahead and vote on maybe the alternative proposal. No, that's no longer on the agenda. So Tom, I mean, our immediate reaction is, wow, Scientology's backed off. But
Yeah.
what does that language tell you
I'll,
that Dave is now going to do?
yeah. Historically, I'll give you some background real quick on it because I think a few things are happening. One, apparently, they're acknowledging they didn't give all the information, which I think was an issue, right? So he's acknowledging that, putting it to rest a little bit. But by pulling out, he's also saving face, is without question part of it. And he's not. He knows he's going to get a negative vote anyway. So pull. I'm out. I can't get the negative vote. It's a smart move from their part. But the pushing the safety thing, he knows this is the thing that could potentially make it work. It's bullshit, but he could potentially make it work. Pardon my French. Backtrack many years ago when Lisa McPherson Trust was doing. In fact, this is the first time I got physically beaten by Miscavige. Lisa McPherson Trust has moved in. They're doing demonstrations around Fort Harrison, the Sandcastle, all that. Miscavige sent me to the Florida Department of Transportation. I needed to bust up all the sidewalks around every property we had in Clearwater so that they couldn't get onto them. Like, are you nuts? But that was the strategy. Go in, come back. They're never going to approve it. I get choked around the neck. and I get sent back in with hit it from a safety concern point of view. Same deal. I mean, and when it comes to safety, yeah, that's sort of the thing you want to push with the city, because you can sort of say, hey, you're okay, fine, you're going to be legally liable. They're not stupid about it, but I think the reality is the main thing is he's pulling because he knows he's going to get a negative vote rather than make it a done deal tonight. Pull, let's go back and review it, and he's going to go back and re-strategize. And I still think that yeah, I still think that the likelihood is if they don't give it to him, he's going to pull and say, "I'm not doing any of the downtown development. That's it because you've stabbed me in the back." And I think that's the final result that's going to happen. But that's my you
Oh, I
know.
think he's already said it. I think he's already said it that if we don't get this, we're not going to develop those Cleveland Avenue
Oh, did they say?
properties.
See, that's him.
Once again, you totally predicted what they're going to do, and then, but you can see where they're going to make the safety argument. If you saw that illustration I posted yesterday, the day before, where you can see the hall, you can see the park in front of it, and then I drew those red lines to show where that street is.
Yeah,
They're going to come in and say, "Look, we're going to have people coming in from all over the country to visit that park, visit the hall. They're going to be walking back and forth. We can't have the public driving through there. They're going to run over our small Scientology children,
exactly.
Uh,
That's exactly right. And it's bullshit. I mean, you have an event, you close it down. They do it in Hollywood all the time. You know what I mean? It's not, but that's going to be the strategy: security, safety, some issue, that might have a little bit of bite. But the reality is, it's bullshit.
well, we is this a big moment though? I mean, shouldn't Clearwater get some congratulations for at least making Dave back off a little bit?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah. Tony, I was out of the picture for a while, and I hear what the church has managed to do, and they've already got the L. Ron Hubbard Hall and stuff like that. I go, oh man. But yeah, no, that's good that they stop now. I mean, for sure, just put the brakes on and stop. Yes, I'm glad they're putting their foot down. A little too late, but I'm glad they're doing it.
Well, I was assuming that over yesterday and the day before, since Albritton made that statement that he was not going to support it, that they would just be doing, bringing reports, details for him to see. Claire Headley wondered if maybe they'd get Tom Cruise involved. I mean, you'd think they would have been pulling out all the stops. I didn't even think about, well, they're just going to pull back and say, no, we're not going to do this right now.
Yeah,
But from what you said, that makes sense with Dave, right?
yeah, and from a PR perspective too. They didn't get turned down.
Right.
They pulled out. They and that's just his thinking. It's a PR, and okay, we're going to come back to it from a safety perspective. That's the way he does it. But yeah, let's get pull out of it so we don't get the big no. And from a PR perspective, nobody can say you can't say Tony they got turned down. Yay, you know what I mean? So he's thinking it through. You are definitely impinging. If is my point. You know what I mean? He's watching. He's seeing. Everybody's going to celebrate this. So no, let's just pull out.
And I gotta ask again because you said it quickly, but this previous time years ago when the LMT was protesting and Dave's solution was to have the sidewalks ripped up so that they couldn't use them,
Yeah,
and you suggested that would be too difficult to get a permit. Describe
impossible. Yeah.
that scene for me when this little guy came up with what did he do exactly?
Yeah, so we're yeah, Lisa McPherson's in town. We know there's going to be picketing and demonstrations. They've announced exactly when and that sort of thing. And Dave, it was with Marty and Mike, urgently said, "You've got to go to the Florida Department of Transportation and let's do designs for the sidewalks." And this was going to be our reason for suddenly wanting to rip up every sidewalk in Clearwater. So we did these nice designs, and it was part of the whole downtown development plan. And we're going to take these through the entire city when we're done. And so we want to urgently, like right now, get approval, and then we're going to bust up all these sidewalks, and we're going to put up screens, and nobody can walk on them. They're like, what are you talking about? I mean, you just don't do something like that, you know? Imagine it in any city or anywhere. So of course they turned it down, and I pushed. I mean, I was under pressure, you know. Um, I pushed and pushed and probably spent 2 hours there until I was sort of laughed out of there, you know. I came back to debrief, and Mike and Marty were there, and Dave was back in the office, and you could tell they were both, oh shit, you're gonna get your ass kicked, and they were right. He came walking in. They turned around and sort of put their heads down, and he said, "Did you get it?" I said, "No, sir." And I went back one time before I was killed with the idea. He said, "Go in from a safety perspective. Don't you get it? It's safety. We're doing all this construction. We're not doing construction. Well, we got it, you know." So I went back to the safety thing. I was kicked out within 15 minutes. Then I came back. Did you get it? Nope. And he told me that I had gone to the other side. I must be working for the Lisa McPherson Trust. And he jumped across
Wow.
the table and choked me for a couple of minutes. Um, uh, but it was that intense.
He
You know what I
jumped
mean?
across the table.
Tony,
He
he jumped
leaped
across
across
the
the.
table. He didn't just jump across the table and choke me. He jumped across the table, grabbed the tie, the knot of my tie, and jammed it up my throat where I couldn't breathe. My eyes were watering. I didn't know if they were bleeding or watering. And held it there. He knew exactly what he was doing. Like, you know, um, yeah. And then I had, you know, I'd basically gone to the other side. It was intense. But that's sort of the intensity that he goes at this stuff with. You know what I mean? And of course, we couldn't do it. So pull the permits, don't ask for them. It's embarrassing anyway. You know what I mean? If you really look at what he's trying to do, um, it isn't necessary. It's something that he just wants to control it. He wants to get the property. It's the last little piece that he could, you know, claim. Good, we got everything. This has been his plan since day one. I mean, everything that's happening in Clearwater, this was thought out way early on, and it isn't really about the L. Ron Hubbard Hall, and it's not certainly not about safety. It is about control and buying it all up, and then as if we don't realize he's already shut Clearwater down. This just gives him the ability to put the final nail in the coffin. Um,
Well, Clearwater gets a reprieve, at least temporarily, and we'll see
yeah,
what kind of plan they come back with. I know you need to run. I know you're very busy this morning, but Tom,
yeah,
thanks very much for helping us deal with this breaking, crazy news.
that is crazy.
Clearwater, Scientology has withdrawn its application for South Garden Avenue. There will not be a vote tonight, but as Tom's explaining, Miscavige is no doubt figuring out how to use safety as a way to come back and get it at a later
And
date.
he's
So we'll
trying to
see.
control the narrative.
He's trying to control it. Well,
Yeah.
we're doing our best to provide a counter narrative. Tom, thank you very much. And see you all at the bunker.
Yep. See you. Bye bye.